Hello everyone, I am Agam Mishra.
And I'm Amritansh Singh.
We are the students of Birla Institute of Management Technology and we are here to discuss about social entrepreneurship. And to discuss it, we have the titan of the field, Professor Arun Aditya Sahay, who is the Dean Research and is currently working in strategic management, which encompasses innovation, creativity, entrepreneurship and CSR. He is also the chairman of YSBC, Unis Social Business Center.
Okay, so as my friend Agam said, that social entrepreneurship is a prevailing topic in today's world. So, sir, my first question to you is that what do you think is the essence of social entrepreneurship and how does it impact the society and the country as a whole?
Thank you. You have asked social entrepreneurship. It has two words, social and entrepreneurship.
Yes.
Entrepreneurship was the concept which came right in 18th century and is continuing. And here the concern was mainly economic, how you could make money. Whereas social entrepreneur, this concept is hardly 30 years old. What the world saw that people just to make money created such a big imbalance in society between the rich became richer, poor became poorer, and this gap how to be filled. So this is a new type of entrepreneurship where the primary objective is not to make money. The primary objective is to make social good, to solve social problem. But unlike NGO, where you get grants, where it is not sustainable until and unless somebody is giving you doles, here you are also making your own earnings. So you do some economic activity to sustain yourself. Then only you can do social good. So both economic and social, there are dual objectives. It is unlike Friedman's thing that the business of business is business. Here the business is to serve the society. That's the main thing.
Yes, sir, that is very insightful. Can you elaborate a bit on how BIMTECH has created social entrepreneurship?
Okay. So even in BIMTECH, I would say it is now almost 7 to 8 years old. And it first came through our research wing, our PhD or EFPM, FPM programs. We had a couple of research scholars who did. And even today, there is no single definition of a social entrepreneurship. The definitional debate is still continuing. But there is a broader understanding. And I think from BIMTECH, the research scholars with me published at least 7-8 papers, which is internationally very renowned. And that is quoted and cited everywhere with regard to social entrepreneurship. That is where we started. But once our Atal Incubation Center got established, we had entrepreneurs, startups, who really had come with this mission that they really wanted to stand on their own, but at the same time with the instrument of serving society.
Okay, thank you, sir. So my next question to you would be, what do you think are the key factors in creating a social entrepreneur?
Okay, the first and foremost thing is really the entrepreneur's identity, his or her vision or mission, the commitment. Here, the first and foremost thing is the commitment to society, commitment to create social value. That is the first thing that is required. And if you are committed, the way is open, vistas new open. And yes, as you know, the primary objective is not to make money, but you make money to sustain yourself. So it also, in a way, it is also connected to today what we talk UN's SDG, Sustainable Development Goals. There also we have got certain objective, and these social entrepreneurs contribute to quite a few of the SDGs.
Sir, you very rightly talked about the SDGs, and we have a budding and sustaining ecosystem of new startups emerging. So, can you highlight a bit on the social and economic challenges which are prevalent in this field of social entrepreneurship?
Actually, it is not in the field of social entrepreneurship, it is in the society.
Yeah.
The dichotomy is in society. On one side, we say we must make, and in this regard, I had 3-4 interactions with J.R.D. Tata, and I still recall his words. I mean, he would say there were plenty of interviewers and press, and if we were somewhere near Jamshedpur, in a trip he had visited Jamshedpur, and they were asking him, what sort of organization are you? Sometimes we make steel, sometimes we make cars, sometimes start making so. He said, what business are you? He says, look, gentlemen, we are in the business of building nation. So there he was very clear. His objective was not pure, and it also very much matched with Gandhiji's principle of trusteeship. And if you must be knowing, you must have got through your various courses, that all the companies, whether it is Tata Steel, Tata Motors, TCS, all of them belong to a trust, Tata Trust. Tata Trust has promoted what we call Tata Sons. And these are various portfolios of Tata Sons, these things. So coming back to your question, the society today needs, and in this regard, I also want to quote Gandhiji's words that Mother Earth has got enough to meet everyone's need, but not the greed. And these social entrepreneurs really follow that dictum. They want to really meet the needs of people, and especially below the poverty line, in the village, in rural setup. It can be even in the urban setup also, those who are needy. So it is more to really fulfill their need rather than to make the money. The money making is to the extent that I sustain or I have some surplus to grow. And today social entrepreneurship can be in any format. It can be a company, it can be a partnership, it can be proprietorship. So formats different have been given, and if you recall, Company Act also was amended, Section 25, which is now Section 8. So people even go through that for easier transactions.
Okay, thank you, sir. So my question arrives from what you've just told us, that you had a interaction with Mr. Ratan Tata, a legend of this
J.R.D.
Tata.
Ratan was my colleague. In fact, I was also a member of, I don't know whether you know my background. I'm basically out and out a practitioner. Post-retirement, I came to academics, and then I started writing, and somehow social entrepreneurship caught my attention.
Okay, so sir, like you talked about Mr. J.R.D. Tata, I would like to ask you that, sir, when you met him, what did you discover? What is the mindset of a social entrepreneur?
Okay. At that time when I had met, my first meeting with him was somewhere in 1973, when I was superintendent of Tata Yodogawa Limited. And I recall, I had been also in the reception committee when I was Scooters India Limited, reception committee of Prime Minister Indira Gandhi. We used to get a lot of instruction from government, from our ministry, from DM, so on and so forth. And people did it, they carried out the orders. Whereas when J.R.D. was visited, I was superintendent of Tata Foundry of Tata Yodogawa Limited, which was a subsidiary of Tata Steel. So he was to arrive at 10, he arrived at 10:02. Our arc furnace was to pour metal, and program seconds detail was there. And I was surprised when we were putting, let's say, flowers or this type of, the workers, sir, he likes this type of pink. Everybody was pouring his or her heart out. He was so popular among workers and whole Tata family. So first thing went as planned. Second thing, he came to air furnace, and then he was supposed to move to the pouring way. But he stood with his usual style, putting his right hand on the cheek, went on seeing and watching the platform. And then his time was up for foundry. I was at my wit's end what to do, but finally I gave direction to the current report. He went away. In the evening I was asked that, Sahay, you have been called into our house. मैंने तो सोचा नौकरी गई, कुछ गड़बड़ हुआ. But anyway, first row like this, second row, third row, एक row में किनारे दबक के बैठ गया. But suddenly talking, he recalled and he said, where is that young guy, your foundry guy? So my chairman was Nanavati. He called me. They made a place for me. So J.R.D. puts his hand on my back. Young man, you know your foundry best. But, when he said but, I started trembling. Then he said, don't you feel bad keeping your people at 1830 degrees centigrade for so long? He was so concerned with people and their welfare. I mean, it's a big empire. They have made a lot of money. But if you see their advertisement, they never said we produce steel. They say we also make steel. Yes. Main purpose is to serve the nation and the people. Yes. At that time, this academic world was not talking of socialism. Mm-hmm. And when I asked later on, Ratan Tata has been on the Automotive Development Council with all of us. Mashelkar used to be our chair. So there also they said that, look, why we started, sometimes they say that you call business enterprise, I can say that we are social enterprise. Mm-hmm. Then I said, how? He said, Indira Gandhi told that, children, many of them, ghega ho raha hai, iodine ki deficiency. That is how we entered into salt making, salt with iodine. So social enterprise, I conceive, at one end is NGO, at second end is pure business, the Friedman's business. Business of business is business. Maximizing profit is the only objective, what you might have read or some professors might have told. Second is NGO, where profit is a sin, but they get some grants and they help. If grants dry up, their work dries up. But then came enterprises like Lijjat Papad, Seva in Gujarat, or Muskan here. These people started solving people's problem, and in the process, they get both Goon, which has been coming to BIMTECH, and you might. They distribute, they are known as Kapda Wala, but really their objective is to restore the dignity of people. And they don't give free, they ask them to work or do some work, against that they get. So they have a pride of earning. So here you create an atmosphere where you really protect the dignity of people, that's one. Plus you are solving social problem, you are helping society without really asking for doles, creating your own little money or surplus. And coming back to the Tata's story, when he said that, said, sir, can't there be a better method? Why do you keep? Said, sir, I do not know. I have seen. No, I have seen in Düsseldorf it is done like this, in Nagoya it is like this, in Pittsburgh. Then he said, look, I don't want to see it again, do it. So we prepared proposal, our board very smartly turned out. So I asked my chairman when he came to round, sir, J.R.D. wanted and board, I don't understand what type of company is this. He said, no, you people have not done a good work. You should do social cost benefit analysis. So I told, sir, I am basically an engineer, I don't know all this. We were sent for training to Calcutta in a firm, both cost accountant and myself. But where we were sent for training, they also didn't know very well. So finally we were sent to UK, London. Kuch seekh ke aaya, we met the proposal again, but this time again board turned out. Then I was really feeling that, what is that? Next time when I went to met our chairman, Mr. Nanavati, he was also very pensive. He said, look, sir, why don't you say J.R.D.? I said, sir, how will I see? He said, I will fix up your appointment, don't you? Went there. I recall my appointment was at 6:45 p.m. in his Malabar Villa. Went there, 6:45, I was called, somebody came and ushered me to it. 6:47 it was the time. He didn't recognize, so then I said, sir, you had come. Oh, you are that young guy, okay. Tell me, my people are happy? Have their problem will solved? I said, that is why I have come, sir. No, what do you mean? I said, sir, Mr. Naravati desired. What happened? So I said, sir, I really don't understand. You wanted this, but it has not been done till now. I'm sorry. He looked up and he was very pensive. He puts this hand on his cheek and says, his first sentence, young man, your board runs the company, I don't. That was first sentence. And second sentence was, but remember, your people are more important than your plant, equipment, or your metal. Understand it. By that time, somebody else come. I was ushered out. So that left a very deep memory in my mind. That it's the people, it is the society, and doing social good, adding social value is much, much more important. I don't say that economic value addition is not required. That is also required. But between the two, I for one now believe that social value and humanity, that is much more important. And in all my work life, I practice this. And I used to tell my supervisors, officers, look, your product are as good or as bad as are the people behind them. And both the products are as good or as bad as are the process behind them. And both product and process are as good or as bad as are the people behind them. So you must really pay attention to people who, for all this technology is what? It's the people who create. Today we talk a lot about technologies, robots, machine learning, creation of whom? It's individual, human being. It comes out of society.
Sir, it was very fascinating, and there is no substitute to valuable life experiences, and we feel very enriched by this success story. Sir, can you elaborate a bit on BIMTECH creating some social entrepreneurs who have worked for the well-being of the society? Some success stories are alumni.
I don't remember exactly the names, but I know for sure. For example, there was one company called Praramb. They had some problems, so they were incubated here. We also, AIC also ran a program called Sambhav, where quite a few social entrepreneurs, I wouldn't say when they joined they were social entrepreneurs, but coming out of the program, they desired to be, and some of them became good social entrepreneurs. And that here, success you can't measure by how much money they made. Social entrepreneurs' success is measured by what impact on society that entrepreneur made. So we have quite a few. I don't remember exactly the organization's name.
Okay, thank you, sir. This interview was very insightful, and I hope that our viewers will get a lot to learn from this. At last, sir, I would like to congratulate you for your book, Beyond the Beaten Path.
Thank you.
And I know it will be very inspiring to its readers. Thank you, sir.
This is a story of you guys, those your seniors who passed out
Yes.
and who became entrepreneurs.
Yes.
They are, of course, in the definitional entrepreneur. Some of them are also serving society. But next we are going to come out with a book on social entrepreneurs. Very, very soon that will also
Sir, it was an honor and privilege to have you here, and I am very hopeful that the viewers would be enriched by this interview. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.